now turn it over. A 2-on-1. Knuble coming with Ward. Knuble with a chance. Backhander loose. They score! They score! They score! It's over! Ward on a rebound. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Boston. The king is dead. There will be a new Stanley Cup champion. The Capitals are still dancing.
Happy Saturday. Happy week for DC. How good was that? Game 7 win on the road. RG3 in town today as we speak. Could karma actually be coming back for Washington? It's the DC Sports Show. This past Wednesday and Thursday were awesome. Those were two of the best days I can possibly remember being in this town in a long, long time. Game 7, the Caps. That was as good a performance as I've seen a playoff team play on the road in a Game 7 in a long time. First time ever for the Caps to win on a Game 7 on the road. Of course, making it in overtime made it a lot more sweet. So today, they go to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, and they are going to be facing the number 1 team in the NHL, the New York Rangers. These guys have had the best record all year, and they have one of the best goalies in the world and some of the most passionate, loud fans in the world. And it starts today, Game 1. 3 o'clock. First 2 games are at Madison Square Garden before 2 more back at Verizon Center for Games 3 and 4 next week. Comparing the 2 series, the matchup the Caps have with the Bruins and the matchup they have with the Rangers, this one looks a lot better for the Caps. Offensive firepower, number 1. The Bruins rolled out 4 deep, strong forward lines. They had 6 20-goal scorers on their team. Rangers, not nearly as much. These guys, they are a very buttoned-up group. They play a very disciplined style, but they do have some scores as well. This is a team that has experience in the playoffs. They have Stanley Cup winning experience. Marian Gaborik, probably their biggest threat. Ryan Callahan, he can also score. Brian Dubinsky. And then, of course, they traded last year for Brad Richards. Those are the guys they're going to have to stop. Dubinsky, Callahan, Gaborik, Richards. Those are their guys. Those are their goal scorers. These guys are very, very good defensively. Mark Stahl, Michael Del Zotto, they don't give up a lot. And the guy in the cage, Henrik Lundqvist, as I said, this guy is nominated for the Vezina, best goalie in the league, and he is also nominated for the Hart Trophy. If you don't know what that is, that's the MVP. You're not getting nominated for that if you're not good. So, these guys, they're the number 1 seed for a reason, but matchup-wise, I think the Caps match up a little bit better than they did with Boston, and you gotta like their chances. And if Braden Holtby continues to play as well as he did against Boston, you really gotta like their chances. I don't think that you're gonna see a lot of differences in the lines today between Game 7 and now. I think they're definitely gonna keep that 4th line together. Knuble, Keith Aucoin, and Joel Winning Goal Ward. You know, they had energy off the get-go. I was watching the game in Game 7, and I was like, you know what? These guys are working. They're working the boards. They're getting possession. They're forechecking. They were aggressive on defense. They were a nightmare to deal with, and I think they picked up the other three lines. I mean, they were very, very energetic, and they were into the game, and they set the pace for the Capitals on Wednesday night, and I think that's going to continue today. The quick turnaround is also going to be a big thing. I mean, the Caps didn't know who they were going to play until Thursday. Luckily, they didn't have to play Thursday, so they've had an extra day of rest, but the quick turnaround could do some things as well. Caps, I mean, across the board, I think are a younger team, especially in net. So Holtby, again, he's going to be, a factor in this series. And, the goaltending, it always comes down to goaltending. But I think you're going to see a very tight, low-scoring series again. I think you're going to see a very, very buttoned-up game. I don't think you're going to see a lot of penalties in this series. Both these teams don't take a lot of penalties. Both these teams sacrifice their bodies. I mean, you're looking at the two most blocked shot teams in the playoffs so far. The Rangers have blocked the most shots. The Capitals the second most blocked shots. So it's going to be hard to score. Goals are going to be at a premium. But this is going to be a very entertaining series as well. My prediction, I think this one, I mean, it wouldn't be a Caps playoff series if it didn't. I think this one's going to go 7 games, and that's what I'll predict. This one's going to go 7 games. I don't want to say anything either way. Just wanted to kind of kick that over real quick. And then the other thing, I mean, Thursday was one of the most exciting days of sports in this area in a long time, and a game wasn't even played. The Redskins finally got their franchise quarterback, Robert Griffin III, the Heisman Trophy winner from Baylor, and there's going to be a ton of pressure on this guy, but he seems to be a guy who kind of likes it. He's kind of relishing this. He has been worshipped as a savior of the franchise. I mean, I was at a bar Thursday evening, and this man was selling bootleg T-shirts for $20 a piece, and I saw him twice go back to his car for more. Half the bar had them. I mean, this guy is going to be the biggest thing the city has ever seen, and he's not even here yet. He's about to arrive at FedEx Field in the next few minutes here. It's about, I don't know, about an hour away, I think, from his introductory press conference, where there's said to be at least 15,000 people there already waiting to see this guy. Hey, they got to keep building around him to be successful. I mean, he's not, he's not Jesus. You need a supporting cast around him. They got a guard in the 3rd round. The Redskins just drafted a backup quarterback, Kirk Cousins, quarterback out of Michigan State. A lot of people had him as a late 1st, early 2nd round pick. Shanahan couldn't help himself, and they have a very, very capable backup quarterback now who could start for a lot of teams. That should be a pretty interesting competition. That's going to push RG3 a little bit more, as competitive as he is. You just got to think that's really... Shanahan's been a big believer in competition, making everybody earn it, and I think that's just going to make the team better. He's known for the quick passing game, Kirk Cousins, and he will adapt well to the West Coast offense, so I think that's a good fit, even though people are freaking out about, oh, man, how are you going to pick another quarterback when you have RG3? Well, do you want your quarterback to be Kirk Cousins if RG3 gets hurt, or do you want him to be the other RG3, Rex Grossman 3 and out? I mean, let's get serious here. We got to go younger. The time to turn around is now. We're in the rebuild. Do it. I mean, why not have a great backup? Didn't hurt Green Bay, did it? So, I mean, you got to have depth, and the Redskins haven't had depth in my whole life. So, do it. Bring them. That's really I have it. I mean, that's about it for me today. I just wanted to kind of go over that. Next week there'll be a little bit bigger of a show. We'll go over a couple of the Caps games. I think there'll about be 2 games in the next time you hear from me. And I want to go over the Nats so far and their hot start. They got a big series against the Dodgers. There's been some doozy pitching matchups in that one. And we'll go over the whole Redskins draft, who else they picked in the later rounds. That's about it. This was a quick hitter from the DC Sports Show. Talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend.